everyone. This is the second installment of our weekly Great Hymns of Faith series from St. Andrew's Episcopal Church. My name is Ryan Hebert, and I'm the organist and choir master here. As we approach Holy Week, I thought it would be interesting for you to learn about one of the hymns that we often sing during Holy Week, O Sacred Head, Sore Wounded. It's number 168 in the 1982 hymnal. But you might be surprised that the source of the music of this hymn is not as serious as you might think. The tune itself has this very lamenting and sad quality to it. However, in its first incarnation, it was actually a tune written by Hans Leo Hassler and set to a German anonymous text which translates, "My mind's confused within me." And it was a love song about a disparaging lover who pined after the fair maiden. I've read on the internet that it's like a 17th century version of All Shook Up. But I'll let you decide if that's the case. Hassler's tune first appeared in print in 1601, but it was known prior to that. And in 1599, there was a great plague that ravaged Europe and killed many, many people. And a German theologian and hymn writer named Christoph Noll, who lived from 1563 until 1630, he wrote a collection of hymns which translates as spiritual songs for the dying. And in this collection, he used Hassler's tune to set the text, Herzlich tut mich verlangen, which translates, I desire dearly a blessed death. So from then, it sort of had this lamenting and sorrowful quality to it when it was adapted for sacred texts. The first time that this text and this tune appeared in a hymnal dates back as far as 1613. You might be surprised to learn that such a serious hymn has its roots in secular music, but that's not surprising because remember, before the efforts of the Reformation, congregational singing was relatively unheard of. So as the Protestant traditions began to take hold in churches, hymn writers and ministers were in search of musical sources that were familiar to congregations so that they could participate in singing together. And one of the sources of early hymns was secular tunes, although to what degree, there is some debate about that. But the hymn in our hymnal 168, the text, O Sacred Head Sore Wounded, was written by a German theologian and Lutheran minister and hymn writer, Paul Gerhardt, who lived from 1607 to 1676. And the adaptation of the harmony and the melody in our hymnal was done by Johann Sebastian Bach. This pairing of Gerhardt's text and Bach's harmonization of Hassler's tune is the most common combination in modern hymnals. Today's organ setting was written by Dietrich Buxtehude, who was a North German Baroque composer and organist who lived from 1638 to 1707. Buxtehude wrote a large number of improvisatory-like organ pieces and was famous for mentoring and teaching a young Johann Sebastian Bach in 1705. As a matter of fact, Bach overstayed his planned visit by quite a while, and back home at Bach's church, the church officials were most displeased by the length of time that he stayed with Buxtehude in Lübeck. In this particular organ version, you're going to hear what's called an ornamented chorale. The tune is played in the right hand, but it's not always discernible. It's decorated by many different notes, which we call ornaments. And Buxtehude wrote a large number of these, as did Bach and many of their contemporaries. And this type of florid writing was typical of the North German chorale prelude of the 17th century. You'll hear it in two ways. I'll first play it just as it appears in the 1982 hymnal, and I will follow that with Buxtehude's setting. Thanks for joining me on this second installment of Great Hymns of Faith from St. Andrew's Episcopal Church. If you have a suggestion for a hymn that you'd like me to feature, I'll see what I can do. Comment in the comment sections. And we'll see you next time.